Here are the books I read in December. Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is a very professional setup. It is 8 PM. My little motivation burst has happened. I'm in day 6 of quarantine. I haven't done anything this whole time, and today I've decided to do it all. So we're finishing the day off strong with a book video. Do you like my little setup? I feel like we can make this a book corner. Let's get right to it. The first book that I read in December, well, I kind of read it in November and finished it in December, but I'm going to include it in this video to make more books. Woman in the Window. I rated this book, I think, a 4 out of 5 or a 3.5 out of 5. Basically, it's about this woman who doesn't leave her house and she lives in New York, and then these neighbours move in. She knows what each of her neighbours do. She like watches them with a camera, and these neighbours move in. She's intrigued by them, and then things start happening. She sees something one day or night, I don't know. Starts to question whether it actually happened because she drinks a lot and takes a lot of pills. Nobody believes her, so she doesn't know what to believe. I didn't know what to believe until the very end. It was really good to read in November because like dates are like November and stuff, so I kind of started reading it along and then I left it for like a month and then I finished it. So overall it was really good. The twist at the end was really good. I really was not expecting it, which is great. So yeah, this book overall I really would recommend it if you're looking for like a mystery. It does take quite a long time to get into it, but it's all like character building, so then like at the end you don't know whether you actually do believe what she saw or whether you don't, and like very good book. I'm getting out of breath already. The next book I read is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I'm a bit late on the Colleen Hoover train, but I cried. This is the first romance book that I've ever read. Cried so hard, literally. Here's the back. Hearts get infiltrated, promises get broken, doors get shattered, love gets ugly. Ooh, such a good book. I rated it like 10 out of 5. It was my favourite book ever. I really want to go back and highlight it and tab it, which I haven't done with any book yet, but this is literally my favourite book ever. I'll never stop recommending this to people. It's about this girl Tate moves in with her brother and she meets his friend Miles. They become friends and they make this arrangement, not a relationship but more like a friends with benefits type of thing, and then he tells her that she's not allowed to ask him about his past and she's not allowed to hope for a future. Next book I read, Daisy Jones and the Six, a BookTok book. Very hyped up. Lots of people say it's their favourite book ever. Lots of 5-star ratings, 3.5, 4 stars for me. Listen, I read this book very quickly, so clearly I enjoyed it. I felt like I had to take a lot of breaks because I was getting bored. Love the writing style of this book. It's written in like interview style, which makes it feel like I'm reading a documentary, which is something I've never seen done before, so that definitely helped the story go by a lot quicker. As for the story part, wasn't really that interested. I mean, there's a lot of like drugs in it, like alcohol abuse. Not for me. I'm not interested. But I also then did find myself thinking about it later on, so like after I'd already finished it, so clearly it was a good book. It left a mark. I've got her other books, 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Don't want to pick it up because she likes to write about celebrities and I'm just not into celebrities. Like, I don't want to read about them. But yeah, it's the story of how they came to be and how they came not to be. Then another Colleen Hoover book. Probably the most well-known Colleen Hoover book. If you have not seen this book around, you've been living under a rock. This book I gave a 5 out of 5. I really do think everybody should read this book. Even if you're not into romance as such. I mean, the first half of the book is pretty much just romance. Like cringy, cheesy romance. But, I don't know, it just portrays such an important message. Definitely look at the trigger warnings for it if you're going to read it. I would say that to everybody. And people who say like, Colleen Hoover doesn't post trigger warnings for her books. Look them up. Google them. Google "it ends with us trigger warnings." It will come up. There is a book. There is a website. I think it's literally called like booktriggerwarnings.com. Look it up. But yeah, the story is about a girl called Lily who's come from a troubled childhood, I would say. She moves to Boston and meets this boy called Ryle, who's a neurosurgeon. They start, you know, things start flourishing. He says he doesn't want a relationship. Where will they go? Meanwhile, she opens up her old journals that write about a boy called Atlas, who she fell in love with when she was 15. Beautiful love story. They meet. Where would the story go? That's what I'm going to say. Read this book. Then I needed something a bit lighter, so I read You and Me on Vacation, aka people we meet on vacation. Why has it got a different name? I don't know. Why can't we just stick to the same covers and the same titles? Make it make sense. This is a very like easy romance. It's about two adults, Poppy and Alex. They've been going on summer holidays for 12 years, but they stopped 2 summers ago because they had a fight. Then they have this last chance to fall in love again on their summer holiday. I rated it a 3 out of 5. I don't know, it just built up the summer fight, the 2 summers ago fight so much, and then it just wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. But definitely, I read it in like, I think it took me like 10 days to read, so. The last actual book I read was The Christmas Murder Game. Now when I say read, I mean I read up to page 65. 2 out of 5 stars. I would recommend this if you're like 12, because, no, maybe not 12, maybe that's a bit young, but like, I don't know, I would say it's like a teenage, young adult, not even young adult, like teenage type book. It's got a really cool idea. It's about this family game that they have to do, they have to play to compete to win the house that was inherited. But the thing is, there's a plot twist really early on. They just ruined it all, and like, then you know who's going to get it, the house. There's no point reading it because you know what the outcome's going to be. And also, this book has more similes in sentences. Like, we've grown past similes. I don't want to know that the snow was landing like soldiers going to war. Like, I just don't want to know that. I can imagine what snowfall's like. So yeah, it was a really good concept, really badly executed. Sorry, that's why I gave it 2 and not 1, because I thought it was actually a really good idea for a book, which is why I bought it, obviously. The cover is actually really nice. I really like the cover. But yeah, I did not finish this book, but I'm still counting it because I gave it a good go, and you know what, it was sat on my like reading pile for ages. The last book I read, which I literally just finished today, I'm filming this on the 28th, is on my iPad. I read it, I downloaded Kindle, and I got Kindle Unlimited. Best thing ever. Until the 30th of January, they are doing 99p for 3 months, Kindle Unlimited. Kindle sponsor me. So I got that, and then I read Regretting You by Colin Hoover. I finished it in literally like 24 hours with breaks in between. It was such a beautiful story. I rated it 5 out of 5. I was debating rating it 4 or 4.5, but then I rated it 5 because I thought actually I could read this book again. And I think that's kind of my basis for a 5-star rating, because I don't really like reading books again. So I think I rated it 5. Also, it's Colleen Hoover, so she deserves a 5-star anyway. It was about this mother and daughter, mother being Morgan, daughter being Clara, and they're kind of navigating like a broken relationship kind of thing. And then, why can't I form sentences? They're navigating a broken relationship, and Clara tends to turn to Morgan's sister Jenny for advice. And then this traumatic event happens. Clara and Morgan are finding it harder than ever to get along. Morgan doesn't want to hurt Clara with the truth, and Clara thinks Morgan's in the wrong, which, fair enough. The whole time I was just thinking, just tell the truth and you'll get along. All while this is happening, Clara starts dating this boy that her dad said that she couldn't date, and then after this traumatic event, Morgan's left thinking like, oh, but she can't because her father told her not to, but she does anyway. And whether it works out or whether it doesn't is for you to decide if you decide to read this book. It is very good. If you go onto Wattpad and type in Broken Family, this book will come up. It's like a Wattpad read, and I love that because it kind of brought me back to like the comfort of like reading late at night under my duvet, and I was literally reading till 2 a.m. I don't read till 2 a.m. I read till like 11 and go to sleep. So yeah, I definitely would recommend Regretting You. So that was my 3rd Colleen Hoover book in 1 month. 7 books in 1 month. I'm going to try and do these every month. I hope you enjoyed my entrance into BookTube. I'm currently reading, well, I'm going to read Redeeming Love. Very excited to read that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know some good book recommendations, because I'm definitely after some. And also like this video and subscribe to my channel, because I like it when people subscribe to my channel, you know. But yeah, I'll see you in my next video. I love you lots. Bye.